to At the Office, Cleveland's home for sports talk that never clocks out. From the latest headlines to heated debates, we're diving into everything sports. It's your hosts, Noah and Matt.
Cleveland, welcome into At the Office, the show where we talk all things sports. I'm your host, Noah, joined by myself today. Matt is feeling under the weather, so I'm on here to talk a little Cleveland Cavaliers for your Tuesday no sports having in terms of the Cleveland Sphere afternoon. We're going to talk a little bit about DeAndre Hunter, and then we're going to get out of here and see you guys tomorrow for the regular Wednesday show we do here. First, I want to just say you can join us, and by us, I mean me today, us always at the office, by leaving a comment on YouTube, Facebook, X, text or call the show, 216-260-3433. 216-260-3433. It has been a busy week in terms of the world of sports and everything that's going on. I feel like we honestly swept this one under the rug a little bit, only because we didn't cover it like we were covering some of the Myles Garrett topics and some of the other things that we ended up getting into here on the channel, on the podcast in the last couple days. But before we get into DeAndre Hunter and all of that, I want to shout out the sponsor of our show, D&D Meadery, some fine honey wine from right here in Northeast Ohio. Use code at @the-office CLE for 5% off today. That is at @the-office CLE for 5% off today. This mead is fantastic. If you use our code and you buy 2 bottles, you get a shot glass too with your order. Why not try it out? Why not go and get you some D&D mead? Shout out Derek and Dominic. Let's get into this trade, though. The Cavaliers trade for small forward, first true small forward on the roster since LeBron James, DeAndre Hunter. And, you know, I would personally here in the live and the now give you the details of this trade, but I'll let someone else tell you. Here, let me play this clip real quick. DeAndre Hunter for, we'll just leave it at Niang, LeVert, 3 second-round picks.
3?
That's wild.
Second round picks? Who gives a fuck? It's the NBA.
But that's what I was going to say.
It's not that
14.
It's not that I value the picks. I'm not sure. I think we can get him for less than that.
Well, Eric, we got him for exactly that, and I predicted that 24 hours before the trade broke. So for those who don't know, you must be living under a rock if you're a Cleveland fan. The Cavs give up George Niang, Karis LeVert. Shout out those two. They will surely be missed. It was really weird seeing Tristan Thompson doing his post-game show without Niang on FanDuel Sports Network. But I digress there. 3 second-round picks for the young 27-year-old small forward from Virginia. Ty Jerome's roommate at Virginia when they won a national championship. They roomed together for 3 years. I was really excited when this news broke early last week about them being potentially interested in him. Of course, Cam Johnson was there too, but cap-wise, it didn't make sense, hence why we ended up with DeAndre Hunter. I'm really excited about this move. We're going to get into what this all means for the Cleveland Cavaliers moving forward, breaking down a little bit of his game that he had last night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But first, we're going to cut to a commercial break real quick. Can you tell this is a little bit quicker than our normal format because it's just a one-man show? We'll be right back at the office after this commercial message. And we are back at the office. It is just me. I have gotten all of the housekeeping out of the way, so I could just talk now. I'm really excited about this move for DeAndre Hunter. I think he is a perfect fit in terms of what this Cleveland Cavaliers team needs. I'm really excited about it. And let's get into it because he finally played a game in the wine and gold on Monday night when the Cavs smacked the Minnesota Timberwolves all up and down center court, because that's the name of the address where Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse is. Played in 23 minutes, had 12 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal. He shot 42.9%, and he had a defensive rating of 114.9. Now, the defensive rating, of course, leaves a lot to be desired, but there's a lot that goes into that, right? DeAndre Hunter is coming from a situation in Atlanta that was not fantastic defensively, and he has to break some of those bad habits that he got there in Atlanta. So I look for him to do that kind of thing, being able to not be nosy, right? Not dive in on some defensive plays when we have two solid paint defenders that can switch and rotate and that kind of thing. I'm really excited to see this guy play next to Ty Jerome in a more, let's say, wider fashion than he did in his first game. I think the Cavs are at a really interesting point where we have not one, not two, but three potential lineups here, where we have duos that are really good together. That being Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen from before the Donovan Mitchell acquisition. And now we have Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter. Having those three type of lineups where you have a duo that could be absolutely nasty with each other is going to be really interesting to see moving forward. The Cavs, to note in this game, scored like 16 unanswered. There was like 4 minutes left in the first quarter before Minnesota even made a basket. And I think it was like a Rudy Gobert free throw that finally broke that streak. But if this is the sign of anything that's to come in terms of DeAndre Hunter and the acquisition for the Cleveland Cavaliers, I am absolutely stoked because of the output and the win. And, you know, we're talking about 23 minutes, 12 points. He didn't do anything absolutely crazy out there. It was his first game. You could tell he was a little shaky out there. It was his first time out. But hey, man, I think this is a perfect fit for the Cleveland Cavaliers in terms of what they need moving forward. Evan Mobley had a night too. He was 28 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, everybody was just flowing off of each other. You're talking about the starting lineups were all in double digits in terms of scoring. Mobley had 28, Hunter had 12. Hunter got the nod for the start. Don't know if that's a for sure thing yet. Max Strus was out with hip soreness, I believe, off of the top of my head. But it was great to see Hunter get the start and get the nod. There was a video package that played in the arena for Hunter, welcoming him to Cleveland, which I thought was super cool because he's going to be a big fit for what's going on here in terms of this team moving forward. And as they make a chase towards the championship, I want to hear what you guys have to say about DeAndre Hunter, about his fit with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'd love to see some comments after the fact, during the fact, whenever, in the comment section below if you're watching the YouTube version. Really do truly appreciate any of the support you give. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to touch on Hunter other than, you know, national media has had a lot to say positively, but more so negatively about this Cleveland Cavaliers roster since the streak at the beginning of the season, them still leading the East as we go in towards the All-Star break. I know there's a couple games left, but you know, we made a good move when the national media is singing the praises of what this team has done because of the addition of DeAndre Hunter. We haven't gotten a lot of slack in the media, in the national media, I should say. Local Cleveland media, local small sources like myself and us, the guys at the office. We've been talking about how the Cavs are a championship roster for a while, but when we're talking about the Stephen A's of the world, we haven't got that. We have some of these national pundits calling this move the move to put us into contention and continue to push us forwards towards potentially making a finals this year and winning a finals and Cleveland getting another championship to the city. And I think that speaks volumes for what this trade means because of the lack of respect this team has gotten up until this point nationally. They saw what they saw during the Boston game, took that, made a trade that made a lot of sense. Again, shout out Karis LeVert, shout out George Niang, because we will miss you. You guys were great locker room guys. You were contributors to this team. But DeAndre Hunter, he is going to be something for this team. And we saw the babiest of flash in it in his first game in the wine and gold. I've been your host, Noah, hanging out here at the office by myself for the first time since we rebranded the show months ago at this point. Really appreciate any of the support that you guys have. Any comments, questions, concerns, feedback, thoughts on DeAndre Hunter in the wine and gold, please feel free to sound off in the comment section below. Like I said, don't forget to follow us on all socials at The Office CLE. That is @The Office CLE. And until next time, and we talk to you tomorrow, and we talk a little bit about the Guardians. There's some Guardians news going on. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about branding. We got a nice, big, jam-packed show live in color here wherever you watch us live, coming for you tomorrow. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. This is At The Office. I'm your host, Noah. It's always a pleasure to stop, drop, talk about my sports takes with you guys. And until next time, Cleveland, stay up, stay healthy, support one another. And until then, peace.